just let it roll a little bit and see what happens. Let me see now if that is popping up. Yes, it is. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. La 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 la. I'm here. La 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 la. I'm here. So, I'm going. Anyone? Oh. 4. Oh, that's nice already. Good evening. Here I am, I think. It's a little bit of a delay. Ah, there it is. I am now going to do another stream, as I say, and also gonna film a process. I'm gonna talk about how I build textures and stuff in the face. Textures and brushwork and colors, skin tone, and stuff like that. Drink some coffee. And I bought myself some new. Actually, I did it yesterday. Did a stream yesterday. I didn't have any tools, and I bought myself some new brushes today. Quite expensive, but worth it. And also, I had yesterday. There was no sound in the stream because I had accidentally put on a remote sound thing when I was in the gym, which of course I didn't notice, and there was no sound. So that's that. So it's a good thing I stopped yesterday. or it would have been a 3 hour or 1.5 hour stream without any sound. And that wouldn't have been fun at all, I guess. I just added a Mozart thing to it, just for fun. I'm not gonna think it's gonna get so many views. So anyway, so we're also gonna film for my YouTube of the tutorial I'm gonna post later. So with this, now if you have any questions, please ask, so I can then I can actually answer some questions. I have my computer here so I can see. If not, I'm just gonna bang on and paint as I usually do. My eyesight isn't that bad today, actually. It kind of depends how tired I am or whatever. As you can see, it has started. It's difficult to see in the stream, so I'm sorry, because it's the I can't really figure out how to adjust the contrasts and stuff on the app, on the YouTube app. So I guess that is just how it is. Now, yesterday I was talking about how I was building here, and the colors I use when I build, I took some lemon yellow. I take my this one, the Naples Gel Extra, and I also use my Alsarin. I think these are the bases for skin tone in many ways, because you have the yellow and you have the reddish, and I also of course use blue to tone them back and forth with. I mean, the shadows are usually more in the blue, and so it is quite limited actually. It's not that many colors I have to use to build it. And when it comes to skin color, what I think it's one of the most important things when it comes to skin tone is the skin texture, and how you make the colors kind of create a kind of a micro impressionist. What I like, actually I like these brushes are quite expensive, from Da Vinci. It's the swine bust or boar or pig pencils. Could somebody tell me if that is haram in Islam? I always wondered about that. Are they allowed to use pig brushes? Anyway, so, but these are very good, but they're not the best, because the ones who are cheaper are actually better, because they didn't have much of them in the place I've been buying brushes. In Kem, it's called the artist material. It's called Kunstnernes material utsalg, or Kem in Oslo. They have started going over to more synthetic brushes, because the other ones were too expensive. And I said, what? Why? For the first, the cheapest one aren't that expensive, and synthetic, you must not use synthetic brushes, because you won't be able to create the necessary brushwork. So to create the skin texture, you have to go and look at classical paintings, and you can see that the way they're actually building the texture is basically crossing over and almost creating pores as you go along. You just zigzag and you kind of try to follow directions and stuff like that. That is the best way, I think, to create. And when I look at classical paintings, I can clearly see that that is basically how they think. Now these are the more cheaper ones, and as you can see here, they are kind of looser, they aren't that accurate, and they are kind of, you can see the hand cut and just cut over the scissor or something like that. But it's actually better to create good brushwork because they are looser and you kind of leave more trace of the brush in the brushwork, which sounds silly, of course, but that is how it's done, I think. Anyway, now I'm just gonna go in here. Also gonna go, see, down here. It's a shame you don't see that. When I'm done with this, there will be a full tutorial. I'm actually filming for it now. So I'm filming the stream and also putting out the stream. Of course, and there you can actually see much better the brushwork I do because the video is much better. I'm gonna figure out how to use my camera for the streaming also, or maybe I just have to buy a new camera for streaming, because that phone stuff, that doesn't work, you know, it isn't good enough. It isn't good enough contrast or light or anything. So it's quite frustrating to see, but I hope you get something out of it anyway. Maybe if I came a little closer and stuff, but you know, I will evolve it. Let me see now. Maybe I should do some adjustments in. Let me just work around it a little bit. I'm gonna stream for a while, so just let it roll. I have no idea for how long you can actually stream and upload, but that's what I'm going to do. Let's see now. Now I also mix in some cobalt here into that yellowish color I was talking about, the Naples Gel Extra, and when I put some yellow, some blue into it, it becomes kind of more like a shadow color. And when I then cross over with alizarin, what happens is that you create these very subtle, and also here subtle overgang. I don't have no idea overgang. How are you? Well, here, and it goes over into blue, and I get this kind of starting to twist a little bit. Now there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the background here, so it's going to be a very nice thing. I think I'm going to start making streams of all my paintings and and then also the tutorials and stuff. So maybe do streams when I'm not. I'm also going to stream when I'm not filming for my tutorials. So it kind of becomes a substitute or whatever. I also think I want to max out when I create a painting like this. I'm going to max out the time I can actually have a tutorial that is like 12 hours long. I think that's the maximum. And then create some shorter versions of them too. I'm working with a lot of actually videos now, which is coming out. I kind of start to get tired of the whole YouTube thing, because I thought I had to have 3 million short views and stuff. But I just got my channel monetized again. Today I earned $1. I could actually survive in Bangladesh on that, but I'm living in Norway. So if you want to send me a super chat, or you want to just leave a comment, give it a thumbs up or something, it would be great. If you leave it a thumbs up, it is priceless, because actually thumbs up today is more important for the algorithm than followers. I prefer actually followers because I like to see my channel grow. It grows a little bit every day, but it grows very slowly. Some of you, I don't know, remember I had another channel that was bigger. It was earned quite nicely on it, and then I was hacked. I was actually hacked 6 days after I was arrested, and everything just came crashing down, and I spent some time adding out all my videos again. But the problem is that I didn't do them. I didn't build the channel up chronologically, so I'm actually building up another channel called Oil Painting with Knut Andre Vikshåland, or Oil Painting with artist Knut Andre Vikshåland, which I'm reposting all my videos chronological from the oldest to the newest. And this channel is a little bit more chaotic, and then I'm also gonna make a also have the all things Knut Andre Vikshåland, where I all things artist Knut Andre Vikshåland, where I post political stuff and other things that might not be suitable for all audiences. Now, 8, hello, 8 looks at me now. If you want to leave a comment or something or ask a question, it would be great, because then I can actually engage with you more directly. It is, yeah, I really enjoy that, because it's easier for me to talk, and yeah. But anyway, I'm just gonna bang on. I'm trying to shape this face now. Add some more. I'm just gonna work with shape and basically the sculptural part. It's very important don't go into details before you actually know that you're on the right track, because if you do some drawing mistakes, say out there painted in the eyes very clearly, and I figure out there's some mistakes I've done, then I have to redo the whole thing, and it takes a lot of time. So in my opinion, it's better to work first with a whole thing, make sure you get it right, and then you start going into more deeper detail later. That way you will both save time and frustration. And I guess frustration is maybe the most important thing to have some control over. It can be very frustrating, as you know. Yeah, like this and like else. Remember, thumbs up, really important. Of course, I also will post this after, so you will get to see it when you want to, if you want to. So yeah, oogie doogie doogie, doggy doggy. So now here, also go in here and add some this one. I think kind of like I think when I paint, I try to think of things in cubism, almost like cube. That is automatic. I think that's, you know, you see the classical painters and stuff, they do very often a more cubistic sketch or something. And I think it's a very natural thing to do, because it's like brushwork. If you paint long enough, you just kind of realize, well, you just realize that the brushwork is the most important part of the painting. So you just keep on doing, you realize that, and you have kind of understood it on a deeper level. I used to use only the blue black from Winsor Newton, but now I really figured out that using ivory black is quite smart, because it has this more earthy and neutral thing with it. And I also trying out lab black. You know, you never use black alone. You have to mix it with something, or it's just a dead surface. Never try to make a, if you're gonna make a, now it's kind of black underneath, and I add some red over it. And here, of course, as I talked about, I'm gonna create, you know, the beard and stuff. So yeah, and 1, 2, 3, like that. Yes. Like this. I'm just gonna take a step back and look at it. It's very important, actually. So yeah. Okay. As I said, feel free to ask me a question. So I have a trigger to answer. You see now. Okay. Now you see, I'm trying to build a beard with just kind of knitting the yellow, the blue. There are so many colors in a beard, and so many colors in skin. Oh, not necessarily so many colors, but so many nuances of these colors. And as I said, it moves from the yellow to the blue. You can see in the light here, it's more bluish, and you see the yellow in between. And the same thing goes for the whole thing, actually. Here in the light areas, then I can see that there is a lot of blue in it, maybe cobalt or French ultramarine. So I can actually add in, mix it with a little bit of red, and kind of get some blue into it. And then I work on top of that again with other colors like yellow. And so yeah, some. So now, like this. And I need that little thing there. He has a wrinkle. He has some wrinkles in his forehead, and that's a good thing. It leaves me something to work with. Now there are 6 people watching, and only 3 thumbs up. So if you're listening, please smash that like button. And yeah. See. I need some more. You know, you can't just add white all the time. There was a nice brushwork, and I need this on that side. Maybe one down there. One here. One there. And this one. And this goes deep into yellow and kind of dirty yellow, which I get if I actually use the ivory black with alsavine and the yellow, and then I get this darker type of skin which is more neutral, and yeah, then we can, it's all about directions, you know, you create directions in the different here too. He has a very nice expression. He clearly didn't like to be photographed, but both me and him was very pleased with it. So that was fun. That was fun, yes. And I only clicked a few photographs of him also. So actually I used a digital camera. But it came out pretty good. I used to like to only use film. That was my thing, because I think the film, the 6.7 film with my RC, and I used slide film or tungsten film. But for yeah. But I don't have, I have some old films left, but they are going out on date, and I can't really, I see that they are not giving, they're starting to the chemistry has started to deteriorate, so I know that never really know how it's going to turn out. So I don't want to use those films to do art photo or portrait photos, because not necessarily coming out good. So yeah. So that's that. I'll also put in some light here. Still no questions? Say hi or something. Tell me who you are, where you're from. I will engage with you if you like. Maybe I should write portrait painting and ask me anything. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna answer everything, but you know. You see now. It is so easy, you know. It's that maple thing. It is yellow. It is the tree red, and white, and blacks, and some blue. And I basically build the skin color from that. When it comes to the skin texture and volume, and it is about building thick colors in the high levels and keeping the shadow parts more down. And that way you just build the whole thing almost like this relief or sculpture. I see, as I say many times before, I view the paint to be clay. It's my clay, and yeah, that's what I do. I'm pretty sure if the Greeks and the Romans could actually make sculptures from colored clay, they would have done that instead of plaster and stuff. And they actually painted all the sculptures. So in Rome or in Greece, the sculptures weren't white, they were actually full of color. Actually, I would have felt that became a little bit too camp or kitsch, maybe. I like them being very raw and stuff, so if they had color, I don't think I would have liked them so much. So. But it must have been a very vivid experience. Also gonna, I regret that I used like bloody well 20 years going back to using ivory black, because I see now that using ivory black gives some more subtle tone than my blue black, and it gives more natural colors. Just need to have some coffee. Cheers. Cheers, yeah. Nom, 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 nom. Yes. And how do you make skin color? I don't know, repeat what you see. I was actually wondering if I'm gonna do a segment for this tutorial where I hang my I'm gonna also film my palette and explain while I'm painting what colors I use when I do the skin color. So yeah. Okay, let me see now. I'm gonna start to do some details on the nose, as always. You know, always the first sketch is very often very loose and very open and promising. And then you have to go through the process of basically killing your darlings to get deeper. And that can be a little bit of a stressful experience, because you basically have to break down very nice brushwork to go further. And many times I reach that, what I call my skill wall, and it's like reaching the wall. You know, we all have, painting is, as I said before 100 times, I should stop saying that. I promised myself I should stop saying that. Reach my skill wall, where I can see further. I can see that something is not right, but I don't have the foresight or the experience to take it to a higher level. And that experience or that thing has to evolve over a long time. So yeah, that's why when you start out doing some creative work, you can't go all Rembrandt from the first day. That is why I think also this thing about talent is so ridiculous. Never in history has any person been able to paint like the classics after one day. It's not how it works, and it will never work that way. You have to accumulate knowledge and skill over a long period of time. That's the only way to get better. So for the people who is banging on about, oh, you're so talented, there was a guy who very sweet. I mean, oh, you're one of the greatest painters that is living today. Well, that is nice that you say that, but it's not really true. There's many, many good artists in the world that are higher skilled than me, and I'm actually not that skilled. It's I don't have this. There is a recipe to it, of course, because as I talk about being able to look into the future when you paint, but yeah, that's my YouTube video. Maybe I should just do a little bit more on that because I was talking about skill wall. So just talk a little bit more about the skill wall thing. As I said, there are many artists in the world that are really good, and the thing with me, I don't really know how. I just do, and I try to use my intuition. Of course, you have to be able to see, okay, how long is this from, you know, we have to be able to get it right in a way, you know, you need to get these things right and stuff, and you need to have some understanding of brushwork and stuff to be able to paint. There's no doubt about that, but I never learned this in a classical way. I never went to a classical school, and my recipe is just get the first brush work correct, the first not brushwork, but the first drawing correct, and then I just work myself from there, and I just keep bang on. So, yes. And here we can exaggerate a little bit. There we go. Everything here goes into darkness, so probably I said it yesterday actually, but as nobody could hear it. They say that Rembrandt, he only used black in the eyes and the pupils to get that infinity depth, or that depth in people's eyes, like just fall into their eyes. But he probably also mixed it with blue, and I know he did have ultramarine, and they did have some blue colors. To say they had I don't know, I saw actually a small video about it the other day. They have blue that actually turns brown over time. So a lot of the things that are brown today in Rembrandt's paintings were actually very bright colors, more colors. And it is funny really, because we have this kind of classical school called Old Nautman school in Norway, and they're always they're painting so yellow, and they think that is what Rembrandt did, but that wasn't what he did. There were way more color in Rembrandt's painting that you see today, and it's just a misunderstanding that, especially that Nautman school, they're gonna be so very yellow and kind of the colors are so dirtied up and stuff, because that is not how they painted. No comments. Yeah. Am I gonna give this up? Don't you want me to stream? Maybe people are watching and they don't have a what do you call it, a subscription on YouTube, and then you can't actually, if you're gonna put in some questions, you have to have a subscription. So yeah, so it's very nice to work with a portrait again, actually. I like this face because it's so. Also, be careful. I have now the portrait like this, and I also have a photograph there. The problem is, if I only look at this one, I can be tricked to paint it more like this. So I have to be careful there that I get the perspective right. So yeah. See now. Oh. I went to exercise today and I did way too much. I came home. I was actually going to start streaming earlier today, but so from tomorrow I'm gonna only stream and not film to YouTube while I'm streaming. I film to YouTube standalone because it's easier for me to focus on the paint when I'm filming and nobody's watching. Okay. I guess the streaming is like a webcam girl, you know. She can't expect to get all the views at once. She has to build up an audience. I actually knew a girl earlier that was from Colombia who knew her a little bit, and she was going to start webcams. I actually told her not to because luckily she stopped after a few times. But she was so far, oh, nobody's watching it. There are millions of girls out there, I told her. You have to use a lot of time to get a following. And I didn't really want to. I just told her not to do it because, you know, all this stuff gets out on the internet and they think they're going to hide it and suddenly it's all over the internet. But luckily she stopped, and she stopped before things leaked online. It's a good thing. It's a shame actually that so many girls are ruining their lives and webcams and stuff. It's just not good. Sad. It's a sad state of the world when people has to come to that. Yeah. But anyway, also digression. Same thing here. I don't have that much of a following on this, and people aren't used to me actually doing live streams. So I guess it will take a time before it builds up. But it's also live streams are a very good way to document things and add new videos to the channel. The good thing is that you have that. It's a standalone thing, so it only pops up in direct videos, which I think is good, so it doesn't become confused with the tutorials. There's some nice wrinkles underneath there, which I'll try to do. It's so funny because he kind of smiles with his eyes without really smiling. worst thing, you know, when people tell you to smile. I told him not to show his teeth and stuff. I can't stand that, you know, when if people send me, oh, could you paint this for me? You're gonna get this and this with money and stuff, and then there's some kid with teeth. No, 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 thank you. I can't do that because it's impossible to get teeth good, and it seems so fake. That too, you know, people who have had a lot of fillers or facelifts and stuff. Oh, it's so difficult to paint them. The worst thing. So that is why it's very important to have fuck you money so you can say no. So as I said in the video, advice to a young artist: save your money. Don't do like daddy, don't do like me, that spent a grotesque amount of money on expensive hotels in New York and had a kind of a mental breakdown there. I think should have listened to my mummy, because she told me to save, because the ladder, as she said, the ladder seldom goes right into heaven without any hiccups, and you have to save for a rainy day. But I didn't. I was stupid. But then again, you know, I had fun. It was fun. Went to New York Burlesque Festival. Met a lot of strange people, which I today actually see as extremely woke. And that is one of the reasons why I lost interest, actually, because you couldn't have I mean, narcissism and the burlesque community is like hand in glove, like artists. A lot of artists are clearly covert narcissists, and basically think they are made in heaven for some reason to save humanity or something, which is of course bullshit. So I don't mean to degrade creative work, because it's some of the most important thing that we have, you know, doing creative stuff, and I wish everybody had a thing they loved. Even if you have an ordinary job, if you have something you really love doing, you can evolve it over time. You can do the work that you need to do to basically get your money to survive, and then you can do the hobby. But most people don't do that. They spend their time watching movies or bad entertainment or sports or anything like that on their free time, and they never actually live up to their dreams, and it's if they even have any, because yeah, that was funny. How does that look? Became quite nice actually. Yeah, that's not so bad. Come on, give me a comment. I need a comment from you. Come on, somebody. Give me a sign of, tell me that you love me. I need attention. It's so stupid when I hear people say, oh, I'm a narcissist. Yeah, maybe you should study narcissism before you say that. It's not a good thing to be an attention whore. That's not good. But we are mammals, we are animals, and all animals crave attention. And we crave sexual attention to procreate or make pretty babies. So it is natural for human nature to seek attention. I guess it's when the attention seeking becomes pathological and it start to affect both people you love and start affecting your own life in a negative way. That is when this so-called narcissism goes from being kind of fine. It's not really narcissism, but a need for valuation, a need for people who want to be seen, goes from natural to very, very unnatural. And in arts, we see this, especially in conceptual art. You see that all the time. You know, these artists who do such a crappy job, and they really do think that this is great art because, yeah, like this girl I saw on Instagram who kind of smearing this canvas with her body and throwing the paint on the canvas and using your hair and your head. It's just like, oh, come on. Probably you didn't get enough love of your father and you have a lot of issues. I mean, instead of doing this to get validation from all your artsy friends, which hates, like in Norway, it's really funny in Norway, because in Norway we have a lot of oil, we have a lot of money, and the art scene is ruled by a bunch of basically politicians. There's an organization for artists which gets money from the state, and it's basically corruption, you know. To get this, you basically have to be a hardcore modernist. But doing art like this, you won't get money from that organization because it's not politically correct. I'm outcast, and that's fine. If you don't have money in Norway, you can get social security and stuff like that. So you will survive in this country, even as an artist. You just can't go on a long vacation to the Marriott in New York several times a year. But you know, as you get older, I noticed I kind of became a stoic by accident. I noticed that I need less and less validation. I need less and less entertainment. I just want to do creative stuff and basically live my life. And yeah, I think for some people, getting older makes you more wise. This is not an automatic thing, so you shouldn't think just getting older makes you smarter, because it doesn't necessarily make you smarter. But for some people, for a few people, it actually happens. So, okay. Now I'm going to do a little bit around here. To white. Here too, this ivory black is very good to keep down the colors. And see, I'm going out like this now, just to try to get this right. And you also, after a while, I will make this kind of cross over more, so I shake up the lines, but for now it's nice to get some oversight over it. Like this, and then like that. Goes a little bit in, like this. And I think this goes goes also a little bit more in. I think maybe. Yeah. Also see there. It's starting to look like him actually. Even in the stream it'll start to look better. Gonna turn off my second camera now. I've been filming enough. It's 20. Almost been streaming for 50 minutes now. So 60 actually. No, 50. So 7 likes until now. I can't see it on I can't actually see it because I have my computer there, so I can actually see it. There's some comments. It doesn't update the likes actually. What if I jump out of it and go back? What happens then? Like this? No, same thing. Same thing. Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff happening in the background also, with all the plaster that falls from the concrete. This one, put that in another day. Actually, I don't have this much time on this. I need to finish it in like 3 or 4 weeks. I just need to focus very much on this. And there's some comes here down here. As you see, you can see actually the things here. And like, it's kind of just this paint that falls off the wall. Here it goes actually into the head, which is quite good. I've come to a point now in the painting process where things start to take longer time because the main sketch is now finished. So you will see that I take kind of smaller and smaller steps. And yes. Yes. See, I'm going kind of in directions here again. Crossing over. Just need to be toned down. And lips go down like this. Lips. So we have the blue-black is now reacting. Yeah, it's okay. Be careful so it doesn't look like Adolf Hitler with a mustache. Die deutsche Soldaten marschieren. It's nice that he was unshaved. That was great actually, because actually use some Ansarin to bring it back up again. Here, you see, and then I need to use that yellow, Naples yellow thing over that again. And this is the way I create beard. Beard. I'm gonna start using my computer when I stream, so then I'll maybe have some, if people start at some point to ask some question, or maybe say hello. Oh, hello. Hello, darling. What is the most challenging thing about portrait painting? Well, yeah, that is getting it right. I think the most difficult thing is kind of knitting together the colors and the textures and the directions, so you get a natural feeling of skin, and of course getting the drawing right or the proportions right. But that is maybe at this point the easy part for me. Yeah, I think that is also, it's challenging to be responsible or for the customer, if it is a commission work like this is, and it's also going to be in a public place. So yeah, I think that is maybe some of the greatest challenges. It's actually my girlfriend Amalie Rusholt-Nas, that is online now. If you have another question, you just ask. So, just for fun, Amalie, could you try a super chat and just see what happens? If it's how that works. $5 or $1 or whatever, it doesn't matter. If you can make it work, we give it back to you. So maybe someday people will give me a super chat. Ooh, that would be nice. Okay. I think this is actually going quite well. I'm so happy for that Naples thing. This one is just priceless. This alizarin and French ultramarine or ultramarine. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it worked. Thank you. Cool. It actually works. Nice. Last favor hennes, celebrate her super chat. Yeah, the great. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it works. That's great. So now, people who's watching, you have absolutely no excuse. You could send me a super chat because my girlfriend just didn't work. And also check out her channel. She is building a channel. She's really becoming a really good painter. So please go check her out. She needs more followers. So yeah, cool. Do you have any more questions? Just bring it on. She's actually been interviewing me for some of my interviews, and she's using ChatGPT. It's quite funny. It's the same questions all the time. Yeah. Okay. Now, you know, maybe if people actually gave me more super chats, they would. I think I would actually be thrown more into the algorithm. So, okay. Now I'm just gonna build some more texture there. Maybe she's gonna go to bed now because she actually usually goes to bed earlier than me. It's 1:38 in the morning now, so okay. Okay. The important thing also is when you have a shadow, you need to make it look like the shadow have something in it. You can't just add some black or some. You need to make it look like there is something underneath the shadow, or it just doesn't become a shadow, it just becomes a hole. So having some color in the shadow like this, and then just tone it down until the level that it's supposed to be. It's a very good way to do it. It's usually amateurs. I did it myself actually when I was young. We tend to use too much black or something in the shadow and it becomes a hole. And it mustn't be a hole. But it's not easy either because it's you have to find the right color, because shadows is a mix between the main color and the color. You know, if you have red, you will have green somewhere, like here, or yellowish greenish, and the shadow will be a mix between these two colors. That's how nature works. So yeah. Mm-hmm. 6 people in here now. Say hi. It would be great. Mm-hmm. Say hi, folks. Engage. Okay. See now. Okay, I'm trying to get that wrinkle in. Actually, see now, it's not much color in the stream because of the camera, but I see that I'm going the right way with it, you know. There's a wrinkle exactly here. And what I do is that I first put in that line, and then I start to mold that line So in the end I have to work kind of over it and under it, and also finding the right color, which is kind of reddish. So I have to kind of mold it so that in the end it doesn't seem like it is a crater in his head, but also like the light is actually falling over it, like here. And that is why this portrait takes a long time, because when I come to this point where I start adding in details, it's all about kind of directions and stuff. So, and also colors and where I put. So I think looking at that German artist, Philip Weber, artist or painter, whatever it's called, he creates some really huge, beautiful, totally photorealistic paintings. It's so silly when people say, "Oh, what's the point? Why don't you just take a photo?" Well, because it is extremely difficult to do what he's doing. Just the focus, just the stamina to stand there day after day with a small pencils, getting all the details right and all the colors right, is just stunning work in itself. Just the achievement of being able to have the stamina is impressive. It's like almost godlike in a way. It's silly to say, but it's more human than human. And the same thing here, really. I'm not that photorealistic, but it's kind of the same thing. Hi, folks. Yeah, say hi to my girlfriend. And go to her channel. I think that would be nice. Anyway, it will grow slowly like everything else. And something that grows slowly grows real. You know, my channel, I don't use any AI, I don't use any tools like that to create my paintings or my videos. It's just put up the camera, let it roll, and start talking. And of course that is not the most entertaining for people, I guess, but there is a market for everything. As my girlfriend said, she has found this channel of a girl that was so normal. She was more normal than normal, and what people loved with her videos was that she was so normal. So she didn't take her clothes off or show her ass or anything. It was just talking about life, you know. And there's a market for everything. There are almost 8 billion people in the world soon. There is basically a market for everything. You just have to, if you're not going viral or you're not getting this huge lift from the algorithm, you just have to spend time. Peter McCarthy, hi there. You should ask me a question if you like. Yeah, it's nice to see you. Say hi to my girlfriend Amalie Husholdnes. Yeah. Let's see now. It's so lovely doing this. I just need some more medium. My medium is, you've probably heard that many times before, it's called Kremer, some linoleum vernice. It's Kremer linseed oil vernice. There's some Kim stuff. I think that it's my, but I mix that oil with 70% turp. and that's the only medium I use, and I basically use it to clean my brushes, and also get the oil into the paint. So yeah. Even up here, bluish. That reflects the reflects the light from the fluorescent light I use. So quite fun to see how blue that is, that thing there. Probably a little bit too high up. So it became a little bit strange actually. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I should stick to down here for now. I want to try to get this right. I can see he has this. Get that shadow under his chin. Then I mix actually French. I'm not using much cobalt. I also always have it on my palette, but it's almost like I never really need it. If there's a sky or something, or here, I will use some cobalt in here. But that is one of the colors I don't use much of. So yeah, see now this, 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 yes, here. Ooh. I kind of need a break, I feel. Been streaming for, what is it? Oh, 8 people in here now. Been streaming for 72 minutes or something. Wait, that was the wrong color. And he has an Adam's apple, and he has a kind of a mold, not mold. That's a birthmark here, some kind of thing. I would have that removed if it had something as big as, oh, I shouldn't say that, as this on my throat. I would probably have removed it. It's like a friend of mine has this hair coming out of his head in the front, and I was like, oh, please, can't you just cut it? You know, it's just, why? Because it's the only thing I look at when I talk to you. It's so annoying. But anyway, it's his head. That's the thing when you get older. You start to your hair on your body start losing its address and kind of not lashes, but yeah, this here starts to grow, act like they are hair on your head, so start just growing bigger and bigger, and that's because of the DNA is breaking down, and and the hairs are actually losing their address, because every hair has an address, or every cell has an address. When you're a fetus, there happens what's called migration, where they come to a certain point of division, and then there's a migration where suddenly there's a chemicals, whatever, that triggers the differentiation of the cells in the body, and some migrates to become the brain, some migrates to become the heart, some migrates to become nervous system and hairs and bone and all that, and they have a genetic address. But as you age and you break down your DNA, DNA becomes worse and worse. They kind of lose their address, and hairs start to grow. In the end, you actually, some people, I'm a figure painter, amateur, trying to get into portraits. What do you do? What do you do when the face proportions are off? Do you let it dry, then move them around? Well, that's one way to do it. Maybe that's a good way to do it, but then you have to break it all down. Actually, Amalia, my girlfriend, did that once, and she painted a very nice portrait of her father. And the first time I saw it, I actually said, this is not going to work. And I pointed out all the mistakes. And she did, as I said, she cleared out the eyes and the details, and she just focused on building, basically building all the structure. And what you do if you are doing it from a photo, you are doing like this with a mirror, and you look at the mirror and at the photo, and then you can actually get a more objective view over it. And if the proportion, you just mold it back. You can do it wet and wet, you can scrape it down, and you can do, or you can let it dry. It depends how much paint you have put on it. So that is what I would do. I'm just basically take up the mirror and just mess it up, and just try to get in the main points again. Then you let it dry, and then you start over. Because if you let all the wrong things dry, you have to go over it and take it away anyway, and then add. So you can, if you see you have done a lot of, okay, that's the answer. If you see you've done a lot of mistakes and it's wet, you just remove the details. You concentrate of counting, this is 1 and 1 and 1, and you use a mirror, and you just correct basically think of it as a lump of clay. You just, oh shit, this was too long, so you just remove the clay, you place it, and you basically let it dry, torn down. And then it's easier for you to fix it next time. Because if you let it dry and it's wrong, you have to do that anyway. And then it's way more harder to tear it down, because you have to do the same process twice. If you remove all the details, only build the structure, you can, next time you paint, you can go right in to building more. So yeah, that's the answer. You can ask me more questions if you like. Yeah, and use the mirror. Try to avoid using any like I do in my videos. I just count and I get it approximately right, and I just build it from there. If you're really unhappy with it when it's done, and you feel like maybe you can get a new frame or something and build it out, but then you will get this kind of line. You won't never be able to. Was it helpful? Peter McCarthy, was it helpful? Hope it was helpful. It's very easy to do a lot of mistakes. You just have to, but build the structure first, and just keep it open, and because people, it's like, as I told my girlfriend. Yeah, okay, thank you. That's good. It makes me happy you say that. It's like you have to. I do that mistakes too, because sometimes I exaggerate my capabilities, and I become like complacent. It's like when I, like, it's basically like a martial artist or Mike Tyson or whatever, or McGregor in MMA. He became complacent. He fell for. He thought he was better than he was, and he kind of didn't do the basic training or the basic things, because he thought, oh, this is gonna be easy, and then you become a little bit complacent and you start doing a lot of mistakes, and you say, oh shit, you know, it's off, and yeah. So the basis first, then the details. Slow down details, get the structure in first. Yeah, it's very tempting to go into detail. Now I saw something which is totally clear. The ear, like here, the ear is actually lower. I painted the ear too high, so it's going to be a little bit more, but I painted this almost equal, so I have to actually take the ear and bring it down. Now it's so rough, it doesn't matter. Just do like this, and boom, and then it probably has to be longer, because it's gonna actually be almost down, yeah, down to the mouth there. And I've painted it too high. So you see, I do mistakes too. And if I didn't correct that now, I may do a lot of other things wrong, because I didn't do the main thing right. And maybe I start to adjust the jacket, which I've done, of course. Because I was wondering, I thought this wasn't, the distance here wasn't right. And suddenly you start to do all the other things in the painting wrong, because you have this wrong, and yeah. So yeah. And here, this goes in like this, and this one like this. Voila! Oh, my arm. Gonna go in here and do some. Yeah, there. Like this. I actually like this when you're kind of torn down. So, get some more darkness in this. Here, like this. Here, and like this. Here. Yeah. Voila. And voila. See, I can actually put in the same color there. Now this is going to be just a line here with these are the most brightest places. And something. Maybe this is going to be a little bit higher now, like this. But when I take my mirror, it actually seemed to be quite good. But there are some things wrong. Yeah, no. Always something, you know. I think this is kind of longer out, or maybe even longer in. I'm not really sure it's longer out or in, but I will figure that out. I'm starting to get a little bit tired now, so maybe I need a break, and the stream has maybe been long enough. So I was a little bit tired earlier, but now I'm actually more into it, so need to get this right. Should get the lips a little bit more higher in here. Kind of not so big lips, kind of small lips, and yeah. Da, 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 da. So I need some food. I need my last meal for the evening. I want to go to bed with a full stomach. So I think I want to end the stream now. For now. And yeah. There's a lot to do here. Oh, it's a lot to do. It's a lot to do. You see now? And here. This. Something with the eyes. And start to go into detail a little bit too early, and I start to see the mistakes, and it starts to annoy me, and then I get manic, and I can't stop. It's impossible. I need to fix everything. That is why it's very important to have kind of a good, have some extra time when you do a portrait, because especially if it's a commission, that you don't fall into this horrific trap of being out of time, because then it becomes really stressful. Because like when I was doing the Holocaust survivor Samuel Steinmann portrait, I was so afraid to ruin it that I almost didn't dare to touch it, because it was almost finished. There was just small things that I want to adjust, and I knew with my manic personality, if I now get into that manic state and I start to do more and more, I will possibly ruin it, and it will take so much more time to fix it. Luckily I was able to kind of stop at the right time, and but that's also very hard when it comes to portraits or anything actually I paint. When to stop, when to say okay, enough is enough. It is, since I'm also not a photorealist, It is maybe even harder to know when to stop, because you can also always do more, fix more, or yeah, stuff. Oh, 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 that's not so bad, is it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it today because I need to have some food, some eggs or something, and I need to relax my shoulders now. I can feel I've been doing this for a long time now. Maybe stretch a little bit or something. Yeah. And I'll keep banging on. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I now wish you good evening. And I see you in my next stream. Hopefully I will get a better camera so I can actually see better. Yeah. Okay, bye bye. Let me see. How do I do it? How do I just press this one?